Hey everybody. Let's see, we don't have a whole bunch of people on yet. Still trying to get everything adjusted, and I have a bad echo because I'm talking on here. There we go. We got no, we had we got 3 people watching right now, it says. No, so Alicia, no, before I had left work, I know Hall was still a little upset. Hey Paula, how are you? I'm going to go ahead and close out YouTube now. I know before I left work, Hall was still a little bit upset. He was trying to act like he wasn't, but he was. So crazy couple days at the job. Not Lala Farm. Lala Farm's been really good. Hey Paula, no, everything's good on the farm side. Just some hectic days at work. So they're trying to work us to death. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm trying to there we go. And we're hiding. So I'm using Melon today. I'm not using StreamYard. Lala should be in here shortly. Sent her the link. But welcome to the chat. Let's see who else we got in here. What's going on, Michael? How are you, buddy? So, yeah. They're just, with all the COVID restrictions and hey, Kyle, how are you, buddy? With all the COVID restrictions and, Papa's not here to kind of like rein me back. So I may or may not get a little bit more in depth than what Papa would. But with the government paying people to more or less stay home, it makes it really hard on staffing. And so, nobody wants to work. And with it being a state job, it's really hard Papa's feeling fine. Well, he's not. He just wasn't going to be able to make it to this live, and he asked me yesterday if I was going to be able to do it, and I told him no. But I'm still here. So, Paula, can you hear me well with the mic sitting way over there? So anyway, like I said, just staffing needs are crazy, and so they're wanting us to work extra shifts, and they're wanting us to do day shift and admin stuff. And all right, awesome. And it's a lot. So, let's see. Kyle, how you doing, buddy? You doing all right? Miss Brenda Baker, how are you? So Papa Petway, how are you? Still love you. I love you too, Ed. So Papa he had a late he's gonna have a late evening. I think he had like a last minute thing he had to do for work. He found out he's known for a little while, but I think they scheduled it like a little bit later in the afternoon. That way the client could actually make it. But he is not going to be on. If he does come on, it'll be towards the end. I wouldn't be surprised if he just wants to like stick his head in. But knowing Papa, he'll probably try to. Doing fine. Just tired of the heat. So it has been insanely hot in Florida. It's too much to bear. We're heading into August. And I was talking to somebody the other day that is from up north, and I told him, I said, the reason why the old saying dog days of summer, it is Florida and Georgia and like Louisiana. It's August. August is the dog days of summer. Nobody wants to go outside. 110 here today. Oh my Lord, Paula. Mike, he's doing good. He's actually with Chelsea at church right now. A Fish's Loaves Life. Southeast Florida has been gross. It's this way every year. I'm assuming you stay in Florida, so it's just everybody has like, it's kind of funny. I go up north and I'm hanging out with my Nina and Papa, or I'm for anything really, go up north, and people don't have like central heating and air. They might have central heat with like a furnace, and then it runs through the ducts and comes through the house. My Papa has he has like a pellet stove, and the pellet stove, he used to have a wood furnace. And he had now like puts pellets in it, and it heats the entire house. But yeah, people up north don't have like central air, and I'm just like, there's no way you could survive in Florida without central air, at least central air. And it gets cold, but yeah, people are like, well, you're from North Florida. It's still Florida. So we still have swamp. We still have we're right off the coast, and with I don't know. I mean, the coast is not it's not just beaches. So you go what they call inshore, and it's in rivers, and then you have like saltwater estuaries and stuff like that. That it's like muddy and mucky, and you step in the water, and the sand and like just the muck is the mud is so full of air, so you step in it and you sink down to your waist. It's nasty. So yeah, it's every bit as humid here as it is there. It's just nasty. And it's funny because during the summertime you'll look at the weather forecast, and it'll say something like 96, 97 degrees, and they have to be lying. And then you see the real feel, and with the humidity, it feels somewhere in the neighborhood of like 110, 111. So it's y'all's humidity. Yeah, you're right, Brenda. So central and northwest are awful in the summer. Yeah. Well, I've never been. If I never really leave the state of Florida, or I won't say that. If I ever don't leave like the southeast United States for the rest of my life, I'll be okay with that. I love I love where we live. Have no interest going anywhere else. I have not made it down to Miami, but working where I work, I deal with a whole bunch of people all from over Florida, and they say it is just as hot. It is just as hot and humid down there, especially by the swamps with the Everglades and all that. So central north is horrible, and more of the same rest of the week. Yeah. So I was on my way home, and a lot of the time after leaving work, I listened to a talk radio, 104.5 WOKV, and it's they do this every 10 minutes or every 7 minutes. It's the biggest three things you need to know. And a lot of the time, shortly after that is traffic and weather. And the weather, they were saying, was going to be drier because it has been really, really, really wet here. But it's going to be drier, but it's going to be hot, hot, hot. So, yeah, it was. So on my way home, Alicia, from work today, me and Chelsea are without air conditioning in her Subaru Crosstrek. She calls it her Blueberry. We're without AC, so I usually try to drive home in the afternoon with the windows rolled down. Yeah, it was raining so hard I actually had to roll the windows up and just kind of it was either get saturated with rain or 106 with 57 humidity. Yep. Yeah, we usually in Florida around this time of year you're at every bit of like 80%. So it's nasty. But yeah, I had to roll up my windows and just deal with a little bit of heat. So, but so Papa always thanks the mods. I'm kind of I don't usually do this whole thing by myself. So if I miss a comment, you can use one of our. I know you. Hall actually said that. He said, "Don't let Alicia know that you're driving around without air conditioner, or she'll try to bum off one of the cars on you." So I appreciate the offer, Alicia, but we're good. Waving like Granny neighbors, waving like Granny. Well, I don't know what that is, but hello, Jesus is Lord. How are you? Setting on the dehydrator. So Papa always thanks the mods. So we got Paula in here. I don't have the updated list of mods. I think that was about all. But Paula, thank you very much. Mom is calling. Yes, Mom, you're interrupting the live. You're on speakerphone.
Okay, hi everybody. Sorry, I'm trying to join the live, but it's not letting me join in. So
I'm not letting you join in.
No, it's not letting me join.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Love you. All right, so I'm gonna try to get Lala in. So again, the mods. Again, we're using Melon tonight, so that's probably why Lala is having some technical difficulties getting in. So I'm gonna send her this link one more time to try to get in. That way she can invite guests, copy link, and send. All right. So where is Papa? We already went over that, but he's, like I said, kind of a late afternoon evaluation. And so he's taking a leave of absence today. Now, with him taking a leave of absence today, I will be taking a leave of absence with my family on Sunday. If you guys are familiar with Universal Studios and Disney and Orlando being this big kind of theme park area, one of them is Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, they are this. It's all Universal, and I think there's one other thing. It's like a water park. Anyway, Rick Isaac's birthday is coming up this August. Hello, Lala.
Hi! I made it! Finally!
You did?
I did. Hi, everybody.
So I was telling them that Rick Isaac's birthday is coming up, and so we purchased his birthday present, which is season passes to Universal Studios.
Right.
So, and we're going to be utilizing those passes for the first time this coming Sunday, and then we're going to stay on site at a Universal resort. It's a hotel. Staying at the hotel on the resort and or at the Universal Studios, and then on Monday we'll go back. And Rick Isaac and Patrick and Madeline and Chelsea, they're all like super excited because like they have this entire Harry Potter world, Mom, where I think it's called the Hogwarts Express, where you can ride from one to the other park.
Yeah, your sister loves that one.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I've been being forced to binge watch Harry Potter for like the last 3 or 4 days, and I'm learning all of their names and everything else. So,
Rick Edward, from the very beginning, when the books even first started coming out, I had gotten the books and thought, I'll read them to the kids. It'll be a fun thing to do, and he never had any interest in it. Ever. Rebecca, she was full on. She was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then when the movie started coming out, she even got more excited. But Rick Edwards never been a Harry Potter fan ever. His dad's not either. So I love Harry Potter. But
yeah, I just can't get myself into it. Pafford Homestead, how are you? Let's see, Mike K, how are you doing, buddy? Mr. Keener. So and I think that's about everybody else that has commented. There's still quite a few people watching. So I brought Lala on here. I told her, I said, hey, you have a specific task to come in here and talk about. And 2 things. One thing that I'll tell her, or I'll tell everybody, is for the longest time, we actually started doing this video. When did we get the midget goats?
Oh gosh. I'm trying to remember.
I mean, it was months. It's been
May, I think. It was May. It was in May.
So, yeah, because it was before it got really, really, really hot.
Mhm.
So anyway, so me and Nene, and I think that's it. Me, Nene, Patrick,
Yeah.
and
Let me
Lala.
close my blinds because they're getting a reflection. Hold on.
You look good, by the way.
Thank you.
No, I'm saying no blinds.
Oh,
You're good. There's no reflection.
okay. I'm seeing a
That's just
reflection
the-
in my glasses.
No, that's just the light glistening off your face.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we
I
went.
glow, right?
Yes.
Oh, did you see my shirt?
It's probably a goat shirt. When life gives you lemons, trade them for a goat. Yeah, you're a dork.
What can I say?
Oh, how many goat shirts do you think you own?
Oh, a lot.
I think you own more goat shirts than Dad owns military hats.
Oh, easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. And Dad owns a lot of military hats.
Yeah, he does.
So anyway, we got these. I just call them the midgets. Whenever I'm around them, I call them the midgets. But they're Nigerian dwarfs. And we got them several months ago, and we were used to like these massive, massive Kiko goats.
Yeah, Kikos are really big for those of you who don't.
When people drive by, I've actually talked to several of the neighbors, and they pass by the Billies every day going down the road, and they'll stop and they'll ask me, they're like, "Those aren't like, are they like?" I had one lady, Mom, the lady that lives down the road from me. You know what she asked?
Huh.
Are those full-blooded goats? And I said, yes, ma'am. They're 100% New Zealand Kikos. And she's like, are they? Is a very big blonde moment for her. She was wondering if they were crossed with like another animal.
No, Kikos
like she didn't know. I think she was asking me, were like they? I think she was asking me like, were they bred into bulls like a cow? No, ma'am. They're not half bull. They're not half cow, half goat.
Yeah, my biggest buck is right at about 200 pounds now. The other one's just slightly smaller, and then Heat Seeker, he's the baby. He's still growing, but he's 160 pounds.
Have a good night, Pafford Homestead.
So, and then my biggest doe is 170 pounds. So yeah, Kikos get really big, but they're a meat goat. So that's what you're getting them for. Where the the Nigerian dwarfs are, the max weight they should be is 75 pounds. And the maximum
and that's
height,
a really heavy,
that's
a really heavy midget goat.
The maximum height for a buckling is 23.5 inches. The maximum height for a doe, for a buck, is 23.5 inches. The maximum height for a doe is 22.5 inches. And, you got a 22-inch doe that weighs 75 pounds. I have one of those. We call her Fat Boss Lady because she's the queen of the dwarf herd. So if you can think, 75 pounds on little short stubby legs, they're a dairy breed. So you can process them for meat. You're not going to get a lot of meat out of them. 75 pounds. And then on top of doe, you'll probably get about 25 pounds of meat out of. So it's not even, it's, negligible. But yeah, so I have Nigerian dwarfs. And
hey, Pedmar, I don't know if we've ever seen you in the live stream. It's nice to see you. Welcome. M. Pedmar.
Hi.
But yeah,
I try to read the comments and keep up with everybody and say hi to everybody, but I fail miserably because then I get distracted and I'm constantly looking over here trying to read the things and not looking where I'm supposed to be looking. So if I don't call you out and say hey to a specific person, don't be offended. I just get easily distracted that way. Is goat poop cold for gardens? Someone said that it was, and was it your magical soap to wash that buck smell off things such as kids' clothing? Okay, yes, goat poop is not hot for gardens. You can put goat poop directly on your garden. If you can catch it in your hand, you can throw it on the garden immediately. It is cold. versus chicken poop, which is hot. You have to let chicken poop, age. Whereas goat poop, you don't. You can put that on right away. As far as a magical soap to wash the buck smell off of things, such as kids' clothing, Dawn dish soap works.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it saves the ducks. It can wash out the poop smell.
It works. It does work. Unless you get really, really rank, then you may have to do it a couple times. Wash them a couple times.
Hey, Mom, stop what you're doing. Michael Keener says if you don't say hey to him, he's gonna cry.
Hey, Michael Keener. And I did get those messages you sent me, but I have been so incredibly busy, you guys. You wouldn't believe it. And I'm a horrible insomniac. I have really bad insomnia. I've tried everything the doctor could throw at me to not be an insomniac, but it doesn't work. So I get busy doing so many other things and going crazy that sometimes I overlook things and don't respond to people. And I'm sorry, Michael, I did get your messages. Please don't worry about that. I'll respond to you. I'm sorry. So, hey, Paula. I have to say hi to Paula. And everybody else, hello. So, so anyway, with regards to that question about getting the smell off, Dawn dish soap has, in my opinion, works better than just regular hand soap. But, I don't know if you know this or not, but for those of you who aren't familiar with goats, they pee on themselves. The bucks do. They pee on their faces. They'll lick themselves. They pee on the back of their legs, and it's got this. I almost think it's kind of like an oily texture, some to it. It's hormones and stuff that they're excreting, and it smells really, really, really strong. Right now, my bucks are in rut, and I can walk. Yeah, it's pretty strong. And they also have on the top of their head where their horns are, in between their horns, there is a musk gland up there, and it produces a really, really strong odor. So if you're rubbing between their horns or you touch their beard or whatever during that time, they usually kind of have a funky smell to them anyway. But if they're in rut, they really, really stink. And it gets on you, and it's really hard to get off.
Paula says that Coke works great on grease. I wonder if it would work on a buck smell because of the oils in it.
Don't know. Never tried. So I don't know if it's oils in there. I think it's hormones that just have a real thick texture. It kind of makes their beards and stuff feel kind of greasy. Yeah. So, but try the Dawn. I always use Blue Dawn. So,
yeah, I know it'll get it off your hands because that's what we have. So on the back porch, when you walk in the Lala and Papa's back porch, there's like this olive oil container thing, and Lala's just put soap in it, and then there's a little like very small kitchen sink, more or less just to wash your hands, and or to drain blood out of like a chicken bag or a beef bag, something that you're about to cook on the grill. And but she has Blue Dawn dish detergent right there, and that's what I wash my hands with after dealing with the bucks. And everything else will still smell like buck, but not my hands. So
and you can it would make it a little bit more harsh. You could try mixing some white vinegar with the Dawn and scrubbing that way if it's really nasty, but it'll make it a little bit more harsh on your skin. So I don't know.
I tried to do all that stuff to attract I tried to do all that stuff to attract females, and it didn't work for me. That's exactly what I told Chelsea whenever the first time that I came inside, and she's like, "You smell awful."
Yeah.
And I didn't even because I had been outside all day long. I dealt with the bucks, and then I went and did like yard work.
Yeah.
And so like I had that breeze all day long. And it didn't really bother me at all because I was outside in the open. And as soon as I got inside, I started to smell myself. and Chelsea said, "You smell like a buck."
Yeah.
And I went ahead, and as soon as I told her, I said, well, I said, I mean, I peed on myself. I peed on myself to see if I could get some, and it didn't work. I had to take a shower first. Lemon juice and a piece of.
Yeah, lemon juice will work too.
Lemon juice and a piece of stainless steel.
Yeah, stainless steel.
Yeah. Maybe like a steel wool pad, maybe.
I don't want to scrub myself with steel wool.
They have like the thicker steel wool. You got
what?
You good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Ah, I told you guys he would stop by.
He might pop in. He's been working. He's been working nonstop, 7 days a week for this guy. So he's just. And
so
he
anyway,
until late.
Mama.
Yeah.
Who is this?
That's Maisie. Maisie is my new baby. So we were talking about the Nigerian dwarfs, okay? And a majority of the ones that I have are non-registered. I have 6 does. Only one of them is registered. And I have 2 bucks, and only one of the bucks is registered. So I can only register kids from those ones. So I have been looking for just a couple, not a whole lot. I'm not going as big with the dwarfs as I did with my Kikos. But I've been looking to find some registered dwarfs so that I can have, when I breed, I'll have both available. I'll have unregistered and registered. And Maisie is the first registered doeling. A doeling is a kid. It's the babies. Okay. So she will be old enough to leave her mama on August 7th. She'll be 8 weeks old on August 7th. So she'll be coming to Lala Farm and joining the Nigerian dwarf herd. So she is so cute. She's really hoppy. I don't know if any of you have seen like little videos of little goat kids. But they popcorn all over the place. They bounce and they get really.
Magnus was really bad about that.
Yeah, he was a popcorn.
We could get him to do it. We could get him to do it more or less on command.
Yeah, but what drew me to Maisie, first of all, she is, and this, I find this really cool, and this is another reason why I decided on her. The person that I'm getting Maisie from is actually an FFA student. She's in high school. I believe she's a junior in high school at Baker County. And
I didn't know that.
She has her own dwarf herd and she breeds them to sell. So FFA holds a very special part, a very special place in our family's hearts. Both of our children were in FFA. As a matter of fact, Rick Edward was, he got the Star over Florida, which is the highest honor you can get in FFA in the state of Florida.
I was about to say in Florida.
In the state of Florida, yeah. Right. For his landscaping business that he did while he was in high school.
Yeah, state star entrepreneur.
Yes. So, and he got that award and it was a really big deal. We all had to go up on stage and it was, the whole state was there, representatives from the whole state. And my daughter, of course, she did FFA as well. Both of them served as officers. Both of them participated in showing livestock. Rick Edward showed Black Angus.
My first year, yes, I showed a Black Angus steer,
right?
That I named Charcoal.
Right, and they sold them as market animals.
Freehandly made. Look at my hat. I got my hat on.
He's got his autism hat on.
Go ahead.
But Rebecca, my daughter, she showed hogs, and I just feel that it really gave the kids a great foundation. It gave them good direction. something to do other than play video games and it taught them a lot. I always tell my 4-H kids, because I'm a 4-H volunteer. Me and 2 other people run our live for 4-H here in Baker County. And I always tell the 4-H kids, that being responsible for an animal, a live creature, and treating it respectfully and giving it, a good life, regardless of what the outcome is, whether you sell them as a market animal, your farm slaughters them themselves, or you take it to a processor, or you sell it for some, other thing, that it's very important that you raise that animal to have a good life. So, and it's also taught my grandchildren a lot about where their food source comes from. So 4-H and FFA hold a really strong place in my heart.
That's kind of crazy how, and I think I've said this in like past videos, or at least lives when we can just kind of like hang out with you guys and talk. But like, I mean, I grew up in Jacksonville. Like that was the majority of like my growing up was done in the city. And really the only thing that I did growing up was play video games, look at stuff on the computer that I probably wasn't supposed to be looking at that age. And
you did skateboarding more than you did any video games. You were always on your skateboard. Even in the house, he was on a skateboard.
Yep.
Rick Edwards.
I looked at my comic books over and over.
And Drew.
But yeah, it was skateboarding and Fishes and Loaves of Life. What is FFA? So
Future Farmers of America.
It's not Future Farmers of America anymore. It is. It hasn't been for a long time because they changed it from that being the acronym for it, Future Farmers of America, being FFA. I don't know what it stands for, but it is not Future Farmers of America. It was a long time, it was, and then they kind of got away from it because they wanted more people like, people that were from the city to be open to doing it. But yes, everybody's going to say Future Farmers of America because they're going to say that because that's technically what it stood for, not standard. That was off. But yeah, it stood for Future Farmers of America, but then they changed it and now it's for more or less everybody to be kind of like open to joining it. Anyway.
Right.
So, but everybody is going to say Future Farmers of America because that's what everybody knows.
That's what it was when you kids were in it. So
I mean, you even go to your FFA advisor and you ask them, what does FFA stand for? And they're going to say FFA stands for Future Farmers of America, but it's just FFA.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a big conference or if you go somewhere like that, they're not going to get on stage and say, these are the Future Farmers of America, because up until La Farm, I never farmed. I did landscaping, and that was agricultural related because it was outside in the grass and stuff like that, but I wasn't farming. And I mean, like Mama said, or like Lala said, I went all the way to state and won the state farmer state star for entrepreneurship for FFA, and kind of threw away my scholarship because I could have gone to school for a little less money, but hey, young and dumb.
Young decisions. So.
Yeah, I had other things. I wanted to get I wanted to go to prison.
Yeah. So anyway, that's another thing that drew me to Maisie, was that this girl is she's a participant of FFA and she does that. So yeah, we'll be doing some dwarf stuff. I know I've said that on past lives, but we just haven't had the opportunity to yet. Life's getting in the way and stuff like that. Speaking of life, we have some visitors coming to Lala Farm. it's been busy. We've had a lot of visitors come. Michael Keener and his wonderful wife came to visit us, and Michael Harris and Bobby Harris came to visit us, and Paula and Kyle are going to be coming to visit us in September. We have a special visitor coming, well, actually visitors next week. So should I tell them who it is? Rick Everett?
Sorry, I was reading comments.
See, he does it too.
Say that one more time.
So we have special visitors coming next week. Should I tell them who it is?
Yes, most definitely. Lala and Papa already gave it away last week, but yes.
Crafty Hobbit.
Yep, Crafty Hobbit, which is
that's our daughter.
Yep, Paula already called it.
And she just landed. She just sent me a text message that said, "We just landed in Jacksonville. We're here." So, which is very exciting. It's been over a year since I've seen my precious granddaughters. And
don't cry.
So I'm not going to. You know, it's really funny because our grandkids, the diversity of their personalities is just incredible. You know, of course, y'all know about Madeline. She's full on farm. It's just her. She's hardcore. Today we did a deep cleaning in the barn, which Rick Edward, you really need to go out and check out the barn later on.
The barn or the shop?
The barn. Me and Madeline knocked it out today.
I heard y'all rustling around whenever I first got home.
Yeah, we were out there at 6:30 in the morning, and we did a deep cleaning on the barn.
Oh yeah, this morning I heard you out there too, because I was driving down Cottontail and I heard.
Yeah, we're getting ready to shift all the goats around because it's breeding time. So this upcoming weekend, they're getting shifted for breeding. So
it's going to be so fun.
Individual pastures. So you know Madeline, she's hardcore. She's into it. She's 4-H. She shows goats. She shows rabbits. She's out there working her butt off, you know, doing stuff in the barn. If I'm out there, she's usually out there. So she's been working really hard to get ready for fair, which starts second week of September. Well, Rick Isaac, who is Madeline's brother, he don't have any interest in doing farm stuff. Nothing. He likes the cats, likes to play with the cats, stuff like that. But if he goes into the barn, he's usually causing some type of ruckus or playing out in the pasture or something. So he really doesn't have any interest in doing anything with the
he gets overstimulated. That's really what it is. He gets overstimulated. There's you know, when you walk into the barn and you have little kittens, you have little kittens right now running around and doing their thing, and then you have, you know, these massive goats over here, and then in the process of him seeing both of those at the same time, then you have this massive feed trough that has food in it, so all the goats are, you know, roughing around over there, and then you got chickens that are like, all right, I can't wait for the goats to move so we can then jump into the and there's just a lot of stuff going on.
He gets overstimulated.
He does.
He'll come out every once in a while and say, Lala, can I help with something? Yep. And he'll start a project. So I always just give him something small to do.
Yep. One thing.
He starts, and it's only one thing. Because he starts it, and a majority of the time he's not going to finish it all the way, which is fine. I'm okay with that. It's not for everybody, and it's just not his thing. Now, he does love to pull. He loves to climb trees. Rick Isaac is a tree climber. That kid, and sometimes like scary high, but he likes to climb the pine.
I have good insurance with the state.
Yeah, he likes to climb the pine trees and pull off limbs and feed the pine needles to the goats. So that's something.
Hey, Tina Ladybug, how are you?
But that's the extent of it. Then you got Patrick. Patrick is an insane kid. He is fearless. That kid is fearless. And he will go in there and he will grab a full-size Kiko goat's horns, thinking, I'm going to pull this one around, you know, and then he'll get dragged across or whatever. But he's not real big into the animals. His thing is more getting in there and seeing what kind of trouble he can get into. And
he also really doesn't. Yeah,
he's only 3.
He'll go wherever the hell I go. That's where he wants to.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's
if I'm digging in the mud, he wants to dig in the mud. He wants
to dig in the mud regardless.
If I go on a walk, he's wanting to be on the walk. If I go on a ride, he's wanting to go on a ride. Unless it's early in the morning or late at night.
Ladybug.
And that's because in the morning, I'm getting him up and ready to go to daycare. And in the afternoon, when it's time to go to bed, I'm putting him to bed. So at that point, he really doesn't want me. He wants his mama.
Yeah.
But during the day, when he gets up and moving, he's all about daddy.
Yeah. So that's usually the way it is. He likes to go in and collect the eggs. That's Patrick's thing. He likes to pull the eggs. So if we're going out pulling eggs, whatever, he likes to do that part of it. The other stuff, he's just like, but he's only 3 years old. That may change. But he's all boy. He's a ruckus. He likes to get into stuff.
You know what I noticed, Mom?
What's that?
So what is the title of this video? Do you remember?
I do not.
It was called Do Not Come to This Live.
Do not come to this live.
Yeah, don't watch this live. Don't come to this live. And there was 18 people in here just a minute ago. None of these people follow directions.
So, okay, back to my grandkids. So then you have Amalia or Abigail. Abigail is Crafty Hobbit's daughter. She is the most gentle, kind-hearted, sweet, compassionate child. It's incredible. I mean, she is just, if somebody is feeling something, she's feeling it. So she's really kind and gentle. She loves cats. She is full on. She's going to be one of these people that's got 50 cats living in her house.
She tries to communicate with you by meowing.
Yeah. So, well, she's outgrown that quite a
bit.
But she loves cats. Now, she'll go out to the barn. She likes to go out to the barn and look at the animals and pet the animals and give them cookies and treats and stuff like that. She likes that. She don't like poop. Well, of course, nobody does. But she don't like to be around dirty stuff. So she's more mellow about it. She'll come out, but she would rather just be doing other things. Mm-hmm. So she really likes the playground we have on the farm. Amalia is
chores.
She is just like Madeline in regards to the farm. For the last 3 weeks, I have been getting phone calls and video chats and of her, talking about the farm and coming out to the farm and seeing the new goats and can I do chores? And that's all she's been talking about. So today they called me. They did a video chat from the airport and I was out in the barn doing that deep clean that I was talking about. And Amalia, so she said, "What are you doing, Lala?" She said, "You're all dirty and sweaty." And I said, "Well, I'm cleaning the barn." And she goes, "No." And I was like,
she mad because she wasn't there?
And she's like, "No, I'm not going to have anything to do."
Oh, there'll be plenty.
And I said, "Honey, there's always something to do on the farm." So it's just really cool to see the different personalities come out in the kids and everything. And that's part of what being on our farm is being here for our grandchildren. That's what's important for us, is that they have a place where they can be outside and run and play and climb trees and do the things they do. So be like Patrick and lose your good brand new shoes in the ditch because it's got 8 inches of mud in it.
Oh, you heard about that, did you?
I was there, remember?
Oh, were you? Yeah, Patrick looks at me. So that brings us into our next thing. So I did the video not too long ago about the culvert and how I replaced the culvert. I don't even think I showed you this video, Mom, if it'll play. But it is, I don't know if it's going to want to play. So the culvert that I just put in place, here we go. Let's unmute. Hopefully you guys can hear this. So, we were having some issues with our culvert washing out. And this was, what was this, Mom? Like it was 3 weeks ago me and Papa did that culvert.
Yes.
Yeah, so about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I don't know. Anyway, it was either 3 or 4 weeks ago. Me and Papa, my culvert completely washed out. Water drained across the road and ended up draining into my ditch and then completely wiping away the culvert that me and Papa had just put in. And caused a lot of issue. And so we dug it out, put a new culvert in. Well, then this happened. We got a whole bunch more rain and lightning and everything else was happening. And it was very close too. I mean, it actually ended up hitting a couple of the trees in front of our house and taking the top limbs off. And then that was the aftermath after me and Papa had already taken this right here is the old culvert that we had in there already that we had taken out and then set across the road for our neighbor to then put in his, because it is a little shorter culvert, but it was still in good shape. It just had to either have the one end that had caved in from whenever dump trucks were running in and out of the house, putting the septic in, or it needed like a good, really heavy, sturdy car jack up on one end to kind of open it. And it just wasn't done in time. And so the water rolled down and then went back into my ditch.
Well, your culvert handled it pretty well.
The culvert handled it. The culvert handled it pretty well.
Yours did.
Yeah. So
it's just the rest of it came across because it diverted because that other ditch hasn't been cleaned out in a very long time. But yeah, Patrick stomping in his.
Yep, and this is where Patrick lost his shoe, because that was really, really, really deep.
The look on his face, though, was.
Yeah, he was so worried about the fact that he had lost his shoe. And then
he come up out of that ditch and the look on his face was like, uh-oh.
So I went ahead and I talked to my neighbor and discussed with my neighbor, what we could do to go ahead and, because I'd already purchased like 2 loads of dirt. I'd already replaced the culvert. Mine was working really, really well. But if you can, this right here is the swale that runs down the opposing side of the road. And this culvert is like super, super, super deep in the ground. You can see where the water line is. What, Mama?
Oh, Fishes and Loaves was saying that she got stuck, or they got stuck in a ditch when they were about 4 or 5, and they thought it was magical until they couldn't get out of it. That's about how Patrick was. He was like down there just thinking it was really cool, feeling that mud come up between his feet and everything, and then his shoe came off, and he was just like, uh-oh.
Yeah, he knew. We washed it out. It's on the front porch drying still. But anyway, so I went ahead and I dug. This culvert is completely filled with dirt.
Inside of the pipe.
Yeah, the culvert pipe is completely filled with dirt. I have no idea how to get it out. And with the backhoe that we have on our Micro Mahindra, which is a really good tractor, but it's not a full-size backhoe. Our backhoe was not picking that up out of the ditch. And it's kind of funny because Papa was telling me, he's like, oh, it'll get it. And he come back there and he saw how much dirt. He saw how much that I had dug out the sides. And I told him, I was like, it will not budge. And he said, yeah, it might not be able to get it out.
But Edward, you got to stop doing stuff like that.
What?
Stop doing stuff where he challenges his tractor, because then when it doesn't work, then he says, well, if you would have let me get a bigger tractor, we wouldn't have this problem.
Well, if you would have gotten him a bigger tractor, we wouldn't have this problem. I mean, that's simple. Just get a bigger tractor. But yeah, so anyway, this right here, once the water comes down, I mean, there's still a little bit out there sitting, then we'll be able to fix it. But as of right now, it's just going to sit out there for for the time being.
Yeah,
So
there's nobody living in that house anyway, so it's not
but
like.
he wants someone living there on the 1st. So hopefully by then
Well,
he can
then
come
he's
out and
gonna
help
have
me.
to get his bigger tractor out there because he's got a bigger tractor.
Yeah, he said he has a full-size tractor. So
just don't let your dad go out there on that day.
Right. Yeah, so you can take notes and be like, wow. No, so
he's got a bigger tractor.
Yeah, Michael Keener says bigger tractor. So
hey, stop that.
Right. So Papa also shared that they have been wanting to do some lives out at the barn.
Yes.
They've wanted to do something very similar to another channel, just a different arrangement of goats, and do like a goat stream, which I thought would be pretty cool. You know, we got goats, we got chickens. Eventually, we'll have pigs. We have big Kiko goats. We have the midget goats.
It's a good thing you mentioned pigs. 90 days. It's the countdown.
Yep.
We got 90 days till pigs are coming.
Yep. Pigs are coming, or pigs are going to make it to the farm.
No, pigs are coming to Lala Farm.
Oh, I did not know.
About 90 days, yeah. The breeder let me know yesterday that we have about 90 days.
There you go, Lala. There you go, Mama.
Huh?
I'm glad you understand that universal truth, Lala. Bigger tractors are better. That's from the big man himself.
You know, is your dad on? Is he monitoring?
He is. Yeah, he is monitoring.
Oh, what a sneaky Pete he is.
I told you he's not going to let us do this by ourselves. So, I'm going to touch on a couple more things real quick before, because we're sitting at 52 minutes, and I want to go ahead and get to everything that I wanted to get to. I honestly didn't think that you were going to stay on here this long, and
I'm hungry.
It's a good thing that you did stay on this long, because I didn't run out of things to talk about. There's no way I would have filled up an hour myself.
I never run out of things to talk about.
I know, especially when it's about goats and farming. So Papa and Lala and everybody on the farm has some new content coming out. Papa has had a lot of stuff that has happened to his shop that he's working on. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny to see Papa's YouTube search history because when I get on YouTube and I go to the homepage and it goes to suggested videos, it is always something on a lathe. Always something on. He is so excited to start turning.
Yes, he is.
So I actually told Papa, I said, I really enjoy watching those epoxy videos,
turning really
videos.
Cool.
And he said, that is really cool to look at, but if you price out epoxy in the amount that they use, we're not turning epoxy.
But the cool thing is
the lottery.
He found a source for some really good wood.
Keener, they're for the freezer eventually.
What's that?
The pigs for freezer or breeding? They're going to be
no. These are feeder pigs.
Freezer.
One of our 4-H'ers is actually a couple of them are where we're getting ours from. They have been showing pigs for years, and they have recently developed. They're doing a genetic line that they're working on. So, so much so focused on that they get rid of all of their non-pig animals that they used to have, and are strictly focusing on high genetics for these pigs and stuff like that.
So they're doing very strict culling.
One that he did is a AI, and she is due on August 24th. So, what we will be getting from them are ones that he does not feel meets the criteria to breed. So, which is fine. Plus, I do a lot of farm sitting for them. So, it's kind of like we're, getting piggies. So, Rick Edward, on that note, Brian's going to be calling you about developing his logo.
Okay.
Or
There was Petway. I don't know if he's still in here. We were playing phone tag last week because he actually he was asking the same thing, trying to get with me and to design something for him. I couldn't remember what it was. I still have the text message, but like I said, we just stopped playing phone tag, and at some point just kind of like fell off. But I have not forgotten about them. So anyway,
yeah.
I'll be looking for Brian too.
Right.
So, but along with, like I said, Papa said the epoxy was too much, so we're probably not going to be doing the epoxy. But along with the lathe and stuff like that, Papa has also he got some. He started building some cabinets, and Papa being Papa, he goes over the top on everything, and so this thing spans the like entire wall of a portion of the barn, and the shop is the shop is in absolute shambles right now.
Yeah.
Because like we've moved I haven't done any of this. Usually I have like my hands in the cookie jar of pretty much everything, just kind of like helping here and there. But as far as like a project from start to finish, I'll be the first one to tell you, I usually just hop around from one place to the other. And so no one project is really mine. I'll help out with the bees sometimes. I'll help with Lala a lot of the time. And there this weekend when we move does, I'll be there. But as far as like from start to finish, I'm just the hired help.
You're a handy guy to have around.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Hey, there's these huge bags of feed. I need them all in the barn. Yes, ma'am. I need you to back up a trailer. That's my big thing. I will say that I am the number one backer upper of trailers.
He is awesome at backer upper trailers, but twice now.
Yep.
I have backed the.
You did a really good job with that the hay last time.
I know. I was stoked. I got it all the way into the barn. So, and that's a lot harder than it looks. And it's funny because Big Rick, he goes, "You want me to back it in?" I go, "No, I want to do it. He goes, "All right." I said, "Just, kind of give me some direction." So I get backing up and I get going and he goes, "You need to go further to your left." And so he goes, "So you're going to turn the wheel?" And I go, No, stop. Don't tell me. Give me a minute. I'll figure it out. So I sat there and I'd turn it one way and I'd inch and it'd start to go the other way. And I'd turn it the other way and I'd inch and it'd start to go the other way. So Michael Harris would have been really proud of me because I backed that puppy right in, all the way in to the barn.
Jesus'
right
Lord
up
says
to
I'm the gopher.
The bin. So
Jesus' Lord says I'm the gopher. You are accurate. That would be that would be accurate if it's like either a last resort and they need something, or like they just need something to go be picked up and they can't bother themselves to do it because they're so busy. That's me.
He goes to Lake City more than I do. Yeah. So the other day I called him and I said, "Hey, are you going to Lake City anytime soon?" He says, "Yeah, I got to be over there Friday for something." And I said, "Okay, pick me up some minerals." So yeah, he does that because Lake City's like what, an hour? How far is Lake City?
It's the same as Jacksonville. It's just
45
direction.
Minutes.
There's nothing. So we live in Northeast Florida, but you have Jacksonville, which has absolutely everything. And then you have Lake City, which has a lot of like rural area farming stuff, but it's still a city. It's just not near as big. Columbia County, which is Lake City, has not grown near as big as Duval. And then Baker County is literally dead set in the middle. And so everybody always goes east on I-10, but nobody ever goes west on I-10, except for me most of the time on Fridays. So I like Lake City. It's a lot
he says everybody, he means family-wise. But he goes to Lake City quite a bit. So, and I knew that, so I just asked him to pick up minerals. But I do stuff like that all the time. So
you haven't seen this photo, and this is the last thing, and then we'll start wrapping it up. But you have not seen this photo, Mama. This is pretty wild. So, in the past, me and at the farm, we've had bees, And we've gotten to the point now where we just realize we don't really have a whole bunch of time to really like sit down and learn about the bees yet, because we realize that the bees, man, bees are hard. Like a lot harder than what I originally had thought they were.
I gotta tell you this though. So they were doing bees this past week. So later on, I go out to Rick's workshop because he's out there working on something. And I go out there and I sit down and look over, and Rick's going like this to his forehead. I said, "What are you doing?" He just got a knob on my forehead, and he took his.
You'll see in a minute why.
And no kidding, it looked like somebody took a half a golf ball and stuck it under his skin on his forehead. He got stung dead center in his forehead right here, and his big old lump. And I asked him if I could draw an eye on it because that would have looked.
Pedmar, it's good seeing you. Thank you for stopping by. We do appreciate it. Hopefully you come back on another live. God bless you too. So, no, you'll. So we've had being in Florida. You'll see on the front edge. Oh, Michael Keener, by the way, yes, Lake City is much better than Jayville. 100% agree.
Yeah.
But we've had the issue where the bees will actually start congregating on the outside of the hive box. And we've heard.
Hi, Bomber Steve.
We've heard tons. Hey, Bomber, how are you, buddy? We've heard tons of different reasons why they could do that. Could be full frames. Could be they need more room inside. Could be it's too hot. It could be they're about to swarm. It could be a whole bunch of different stuff. And this one hive body. I started realizing, I'm like, I'd go out there at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'd start weed eating around this area. At 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's dark. This time of year, it's the sun's coming up, but it's cool outside. It's like low humidity because like the sun's not out. And there's dew on the ground. That's how. I mean, it's like I said, the sun's not out, so there's no water in the air, moisture in the air. So anyway, you'd go out at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you would see bees congregating on the outside of this hive body. And so I talked to Dad, and I told him, I was like, I don't think it's because of heat. And I don't think they're about to swarm because they've been doing this for at least 2 weeks, because I weed eat every 2 weeks. I said, they've been doing this for at least 2 weeks. And so, he said this past weekend, I said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to look at the bees. Well, I got out there just in time to go ahead and grab the camera so we could go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do the video and then and look at the bees. And this is what we opened the hive up to.
Woohoo!
Look at here, I'm going to try to, hold on. Let me see what I can do. Can I not zoom any more in? Is really?
I don't think so. I think that's as far as
it. So anyway, this is like super duper. I just have to use there you go. That is a ton of bees. They're like pouring out. Anyway, I thought that was crazy. And but anyway, this video will be coming out here shortly. So if you guys want to see that video as well,
keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching. But yeah, it was absolutely insane. And so Papa tore out one of the frames, looked at it. It was slap full. And he didn't even, the only thing that I wish we would have done is I wish we would have at least broken the I don't know, Papa, say it in the comments. The stuff that holds the frames together. Again, I'm not a bee expert, but
anyway, I need to sign off.
I know I'm surprised you didn't tell me it was an hour and 5 minutes.
No, I really need to sign off. Okay. I gotta grab some food, right. And also I gotta go feed my goat. So sorry. But it was great talking to everybody. So keep watching, and remember, always be kind to each other.
I love you, Mama.
Love you too.
So, but it was crazy because as we were opening up this box, we were not expecting to see this at all. So Papa, he went ahead and he opened up one propolis. Thank you, Dad. So he went ahead and he opened it up. He broke open one of the frames, pulled it out, looked at it, completely slap full, put the other one in there. We knew that it needed a deep on top. And we went ahead and we put another deep on top. We went ahead and slapped the lid back on it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Papa got tagged once or twice in the glove. And then as he was taking off his net, he got popped once and turned into a unicorn. So anyway, I think that's about it. So Lala said something about us having some special guests with Madeline coming out to the farm, with Rebecca the Crafty Hobbit. She's going to be out. That's my sister. She's going to be coming out. We'll also have my Uncle Jimmy and Aunt Lee. They're also going to be coming out. And then I can't remember exactly the month, but then good old Miss Paula Wells, she will also be coming out and visiting us soon. So if it ain't for the visitors that you stick around for, you need to stick around for some of these videos that are coming out, the cabinets, Lala bringing home the rest of her midget goats, doing a video on the midget goats that we have already, the bees, whole bunch of stuff coming out. So if you're not like ringing the little notification bell, do that so you can get notifications on all of our future content. Thank you guys for watching. Come back next Wednesday. That's all I got to say. And as Papa would always say, and as I say, make sure you guys are treating others as you would like to be treated. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.